The Steam Deck is not a replacement for the Nintendo Switch. I remember leading up to the release of the system, there were people talking like that, and even now there are some people that talk like that, and they're kind of in a minority these days, but it's still kind of annoying when posts like that show up online, because there are some issues that really prevent the Steam Deck from being a replacement for the Switch. First of all, I'd like to address the elephant in the room, and that is emulation. The Steam Deck is very much capable of emulating games, and I've got a few on mine, and I haven't really played around with them much. And emulators themselves, they're not necessarily against the law, because they, for the most part, run on their own code. However, there are some emulators that cross the line and have gotten in trouble, like Dolphin, because Dolphin, actually used a portion of the actual code from the Wii, so that's why, the Steam port got in trouble before it even released. If they really just used their own code, they would have, had more grounds to, fight back, but it's partially their fault that they got in trouble, so, you know. And people have been using the Steam Deck to emulate Nintendo Switch games, and personally, I'd rather play modern games on, modern consoles when I can, and, I'm perfectly capable of going out and buying Switch games, whether it's like the physical game or actually getting it from the Switch eShop. I have no reason to do it via emulation. Besides, setting it up on a Steam Deck would take time. It's much more simple to just get the game on the Switch anyways, so I'd rather do it like that. And the Steam Deck, it's just a computer, in the form of a game console. So since it's like that, there are going to be some compatibility issues with certain games. Certain games don't run at all, some not very well, some are prone to crash or even freeze, unless you mess around with the system, maybe install a different OS like Windows or something like that. But again, that would take time to set up. And then there's the fact that these are computer games, so they're not going to be as compressed as they are on the Switch. So Switch games will take up less space because of how compressed they are for the most part. No, it doesn't apply to every game, because some games they just stick to cloud versions because they're too lazy to compress, or they don't have time, energy, or resources. It's not necessarily a lazy thing all the time, but they have reasons for not compressing it. And if you're just going to do a cloud version, I have to ask what's even the point, because I know some games that get cloud versions on there, they would be totally capable of actually compressing it on there. They just don't want to put the time into it. And some of the other games, it would make more sense to wait for more powerful Nintendo hardware, I guess. But yeah, PC games, they take up way more space. So a Steam Deck, you're likely to fill up more quickly. The system is already full of some garbage on there. I've got 256 gigabytes of internal storage and a terabyte micro SD, and I've got even less games on there than I have on my laptop, and the Steam Deck's the one that's running out of space, and my laptop is just the 1 terabyte of internal storage, while my Steam Deck is the 256 gigabytes of internal plus the terabyte micro SD, yet I'm able to get more on my laptop somehow. That doesn't really make much sense to me, but that's kind of how it is. But then there's some of the other issues with the Steam Deck. Like I said, games function based off of the hardware they're on. Not all of them run right, and some of the games, the way they run depends on whether you're playing in handheld mode or whether you have it hooked up to a TV. Because, I've had some games, I hook them up to a TV, they play just fine, I have them in handheld mode, and then they have issues, certain things not displaying on the screen like they're supposed to. And the other way actually works, too, because, sometimes I play on the TV and a game will crash at certain points. But if I play in handheld mode, it's less likely to crash at those points. It's just so weird, but once you figure out what games it does this with, it's not that big of a deal. And, yeah. Some of the other issues I have include the Steam Deck docking station. It's kind of a weird thing. It's functional, it works, but it is a bit awkward. The Steam Deck's a bit bulky, and then hooking it up to a TV, it's not necessarily going to work 100% of the time. I've had days where the screen wouldn't, like, display on my TV. It just stayed on the deck, even though everything was plugged in the way it was supposed to be. And then there are some audio issues, like some TVs, like the audio won't play when it should, or it'll cut in and out in certain games. It's really, really annoying. Like, these are issues I don't even have on the Switch, and people will act like this is a replacement for it. Like, it's just another way to play games. Like, even Valve wasn't really planning to compete with Nintendo. They just wanted to provide another way to play games on their platform. And, you know, this last one's not really a major issue or anything, but like I said, it's pretty much a small PC, so that means it's not going to have any physical games. So if you're like a game collector interested in collecting physical games, well, you're better off just getting like a Switch or a PS5 or Xbox Series X or whatever consoles are out there and just getting the physical games for them. But the Steam Deck, like, it's still a fine way to play the games, just an alternative way to play the games. Like, plenty of the third-party games are available on there. There are third-party games that are available on both systems. Third-party games that are only available on here. Third-party games only available on the other. Like, they're just different ways to play games, and if you can't accept that, just shut the up.